If you knew of a system that was always full of controversy and never seemed quite that fair, would you support it? That is what the Electoral College is. It's not fair. The topic of the Electoral College is a situation that we have constantly debated. Some of us feel that it is a flawed system and should be removed entirely, while others feel that the current system works in the way it was designed and it is in place for a reason. There are also some people in the middle who think that although the system is flawed, it should be altered instead of just being completely dissolved. To understand the Electoral College, it is imperative that we first understand the historical context in which it was created. This takes us back to the Constitutional Convention of the Founding Fathers. In 1787, the Constitutional Convention considered several possible methods of selecting the president. The original idea was to have Congress choose the president. This idea was rejected, however, because some felt that making such a choice would be too divisive of an issue and leave many hard feelings in Congress. Others felt that such a procedure would invite unseemly political bargaining, corruption, and perhaps even interference with foreign powers. Some felt that such an arrangement would upset the balance of power between the legislative and executive branches of the federal government. The second idea was to have the Senate legislature select the president. This idea, too, was rejected out of fears that the president would be chosen by the state legislature and might permit them to erode federal authority and then undermine the whole idea of the federation. The third idea was to have a president elected by direct popular vote only, and the direct election was actually rejected because the Founding Fathers doubted the intelligence of the public. They didn't think that they could choose the right person for the job, and they feared without sufficient information about the candidates from outside their states, people would naturally vote for like a favorite son, somebody they knew as opposed to the person that they didn't know from their own state or region. At worst, no president would emerge with a popular majority vote sufficient enough to govern the whole country. At best, the choice of president would always be decided by the largest, most popular state, with little regards to the smaller ones like Rhode Island or any one of the other smaller states that don't really matter over California or New York or Florida or the bigger states. It is for these reasons why the current Electoral College system was put into place. We all know the current system, and we have all heard plenty of feedback on this, some negative, some positive. We also know a time in which the current system didn't work, and the winner won the popular vote but did not win the presidency. We all remember the 2000 election, when Al Gore received 500,000 more votes than George W. Bush, but Gore lost in the Electoral College 266 to 271, and therefore lost the election. We also know of two other occasions when this happened. In 1876, presidential race, Samuel Tilden won the popular vote by about 250,000 votes, but lost in the Electoral College. The election was decided by the House of Representatives, however, due to four states' Electoral College's votes being contested: Florida, Louisiana, South Carolina, and Oregon. And in the 1888 presidential race, Benjamin Harrison received 90,596 fewer votes than Grover Cleveland. But Harrison carried the Electoral College 233 to 168 and became the 23rd President of the United States. There are several opinions on how we should change the Electoral College system, which all should be debated in a reasonable debate session. I also have my own opinions on what we should do with it, and in an ideal voting system, every person's vote would matter instead of overall percentages from each state. This is my argument, and I strongly support it. And I also strongly support dissolving the current Electoral College system. I believe that the American dream has and always will be the freedom to choose what you want to do and have your vote matter. And in the current Electoral College system, your vote doesn't really seem to matter that much. Going strictly on popular vote is the only way for every individual to count equally and to guarantee that that person who is ultimately elected in the office is the choice of the United States citizens. And will also, their presidency will be better because they will also have the Americans actually supporting them, as opposed to having a president who may or may not have been supported but won the Electoral College.